Assalamu alaikum. Today I welcome you all in my online lecture, and I am Dr. Mahmudur Rahman Imrul, Assistant Professor Orthopedic Surgery, Boshundhara Addin Medical College. The topic that has been selected for today's discussion is very interesting, and the duration of discussion will be not very long. So I will hope you will be connected with us and watch the video till the end, and definitely today's lecture will be helpful for your examination and practical life. First of all, the definition. The definition is when a fragment of bone pulled away by a tendon is called avulsion fracture. Or another definition is when a chip of bone is avulsed by a sudden and unexpected contraction of a powerful muscle is called avulsion fracture. The thing is simple. As for example, one tendon is, as for example, this muscle is inserted in here in the radial styloid. If there is a sudden and violent contraction of the brachioradialis muscle, then this muscle can avulse a small chips of bone, and this is the avulsion fracture. Okay, few things here should be remembered, that is always a small fragment of bone is separated and avulsion occur by a sudden and unexpected contraction, and which muscle? In a powerful muscle or large muscle. When those muscles are contracted, then a bone or chips of bone is separated from its side, and then the avulsion fracture occurs. Okay. Now, first of all, for easy understanding, let's come to know some example of avulsion fracture. As for example, there will be the greater tuberosity in here. The supraspinatus, infraspinatus muscles are inserted in here, and sometimes the contraction of this muscle during fall, we try to prevent ourselves from falling, and in that time this kind of avulsion fracture occur. And another thing, that is the lateral condyle or medial condyle of the humerus fracture may also occur due to contraction of the extensor group of muscle or flexor group of muscle. And sometimes avulsion fracture of the olecranon occurs because the triceps muscle, this is a powerful muscle, and this is inserted in the tip of the olecranon, and when sometimes contraction of the triceps muscle causes avulsion fracture of the olecranon process. And sometimes the base of the fifth metatarsal also avulsed due to contraction of the peroneus brevis muscle. Okay. Now let's see some photo. Here, look at this. The greater tuberosity is avulsed or separated from its main bone fragment due to contraction of the supraspinatus muscle. In here, look at this. The medial condyle is epicondyle is separated from its normal site, and here the lateral condyle is separated and displaced from its original site, and all this occurs due to contraction of the powerful muscle. Okay, and look at this. This is the olecranon fracture. This is also avulsion fracture occurs by contraction of the triceps muscle, and this is also a type of avulsion fracture, that is the transverse fracture of the patella. Why it is avulsion fracture? You know, the quadriceps muscle, biceps femoris, vastus lateralis, intermedius and vastus medialis, all four muscles cause quadriceps femoris, and this is the strongest muscle in the body, and sometimes this muscle contraction causes fracture of the patella. And this is the avulsion fracture of the fifth metatarsal. Okay, look at this. Here the peroneus brevis muscle is inserted in here, and contraction of this muscle during fall causes avulsion fracture. And now what will be the clinical feature of a avulsion fracture? Definitely in case of avulsion fracture there will be a history of trauma, maybe there will be history of fall, or try to prevent someone himself or herself from prevent falling, or there may be a history of twisting injury of the ankle joint. Definitely there will be some history of trauma or injury, and associate that there will be sudden onset of severe pain immediately after trauma. And if the injury is subcutaneous, then we may see there will be local swelling. If there is olecranon fracture, there we can feel or see the swelling, or lateral epicondyle, medial epicondyle, or ankle fracture, base of the fifth metatarsal, we can see the swelling or feel the swelling. But if that is in the graded tuberosity fracture, there will be large muscle, that is the deltoid muscle covering this, then sometimes the swelling may not be so obvious, but there will be some restriction of movement, complaints of pain over there. These are the history, okay. And what we can see in clinical examination, that is, if there is an injury, definitely there will be swelling in there, and if the injury is subcutaneous, there will be bleeding in there, and so there will be reddish discoloration or blackish discoloration of the skin or subcutaneous tissue due to ecchymosis, okay. And we can feel tenderness over there, and definitely the movement of that joint will be restricted. And one thing that should be remembered, that is, avulsion fracture always occurs close to the joint, okay. Avulsion fracture always occur close to the joint, so definitely involved joints movement will be restricted, okay. And what are the investigation we can do for diagnosis of a avulsion fracture? Definitely X-ray is the first choice for diagnosis of fracture. That is, we can do the X-ray of the local part, that is definitely of anterior, posterior view and lateral view. And sometimes if patient present to us late, or if a minor fracture or crack fracture, in that case we can do CT scan, MRI or bone scan, etc., okay. But first of all, clinical examination, history and X-ray, these three can help us to reach the goal of diagnosis, okay. And now what will be the treatment? The treatment, there is some variation in treatment options. If there is a displaced fragment or large fragment, then one option. If the small fragment, or if fracture occur in the cancellous bony part, always it occurs in cancellous bone, then treatment option varies. Now if the fragment is small, then the rest and supportive bandage or a brace is sufficient. Here we can see after a avulsion fracture of the fifth metatarsal, a small supportive bandage or anglet is given only, and associated with, we can give some analgesic or anti-inflammatory drug, or immediately ice compression can be given with associated counseling, okay. And if the fragment is large, then sometimes we need to open close reduction or open reduction of the fragment to its actual site, and then fixation by screws. Here you can see the avulsion fracture of the greater tuberosity, which was placed to its original site by multiple screws with a plate, because if it is not placed properly, later on the range of motion will be decreased, there is a chance of stiffness, and power of this functioning muscle may be decreased. That is why sometimes anatomical reduction or accurate reduction of the fracture fragment is required. Okay, and actually this is all about today's discussion. This was a very short topic, and I hope you will see this video and write it in your notebook and try to read it, because this is an important topic for our examination. OSPI or short note was came in your examination in last few years. That is why I with special attention give a lecture for about this avulsion fracture. So in a nutshell, what is avulsion fracture? When a fragment of bone is pulled away by its own side by a contraction of a powerful muscle, that is avulsion fracture. And we have discussed the example of avulsion fracture. There will be history of trauma, there will be swelling, ecchymosis, restriction of movement over there, and for investigation XT is the choice. If required, we may do CT scan or MRI, and treatment includes, if small fragment, then we can supportive treatment like brace or anglet, etc. But if a large fragment is separated, as for example greater tuberosity of the humerus or olecranon fracture or patellar fracture, in that case we may need to fix the bone, that is close or open reduction and internal fixation. Okay, this is all about today's lecture on avulsion fracture. Thank you. Thanks to you all. Assalamu alaikum.